The largest funder of the WHO is Bill Gates. Gates is also closely connected to the World Economic Forum. With one hand, Gates receives tax breaks for the money he transfers to his Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which in turn can forward the tax-exempt money to the WHO. With the other hand, Gates invests in the pharmaceutical industry and vaccines.
You've invested $10 billion in vaccinations over the last 2 decades, and you figured out the return on investment for that, and it kind of stunned me. Can you walk us through the math?
But we feel there's been over a 20-to-1 return. So if you just look at the economic benefits, that's a pretty strong number compared to anything else.
I think the numbers that you ran through were if you had put that money into an S&P 500 and reinvested the dividends, you'd come up with something like $17 billion, but you think it's $200 billion.
Here, yeah. Helping young children live, get the right nutrition, contribute to their countries, that has a payback that goes beyond any typical financial return.
Right.
When the WHO declares a pandemic and urges the world to get vaccinated, it's Gates' best investment ever, all disguised as philanthropy. The large global companies have become incomprehensibly richer during the pandemic years. All while the pandemic measures have smashed the economy for the average citizen in the worst hit countries.
During a crisis, a window of opportunity for policy changes is created. This is true regardless if the crisis is fabricated, as is the case with COVID-19. The whole crisis rests on the decision by WHO to declare a pandemic, but that wouldn't have happened before 2009. In that case, COVID-19 would have only been classified as a severe seasonal flu and would have been handled as such. But today, it is instead a pandemic, and it's being treated as if it was the most dangerous pandemic we have ever had. The reach of the measures have taken no historical counterpart. This window of opportunity for the people in power makes it possible for them to introduce policies which they never could have introduced otherwise. They are using this crisis as a pretext to implement new rules and protocols, so that when we leave the crisis and look for an exit, we will leave the old normal behind and instead enter a new normal, where the implemented changes live on.
It is our defining moment. Many things will change forever. A new world will emerge, the contours of which are for us to both imagine and to draw.